So I recently bought 2 diplomas, which is how I got through school. Bribery and not by earning. No, these are diplomas I got on eBay that I will cut up and make into little faces. And there were 2 that I bought that were rather similar. And I will show you what I mean by that. For example, no, yes, yes. This one has the same border as the one I just cut up. Kind of almost the same. Let's see if I can find a part. See, right there. And I put it in my little head. I thought, well, maybe I can create a similar set of figures. So the first diploma I cut up, I made this. This was the first head I made, which is, as you can see, very elaborate and kind of crazy. And for example, you see the D in public school, whatever, diploma, I guess it said. Is that what it said? Yes, public school diploma. So the D, or something like it, turned into this. There's a lot of, now that I look at it, a lot of very interesting little subtleties between the thing. Not just in terms of the color, but in terms of slight details. This S turned into, I cut it in half and it turned into this little face here with an elaborate hairdo. So back to the first one I did. I don't want to get the pieces mixed up. So I came up with this little grouping, and some of them are, I mean, they're all very different. They look like they, well, these 2 are almost, you know, you can see the similarity in the elements there. But other ones are very, they're relatively dissimilar. And it made me think of, you know, a sports team and how inept this particular team would work together because they're all so different. And it's like they don't know the value of teamwork. So I thought maybe, as I was making this one, I thought, well, I need to make the despairing coach. So that's what this is supposed to be. You know, the coach despairs the ineptitude of his team or something. I don't know, come up with some sort of caption to go along with it. And, or, you know, the coach is angry. The coach can't believe how, I don't know what the wording is. It's 4 a.m. I'm supposed to not be thinking about this. So anyway, so this is that. And then I noticed, or I knew that I was getting this other diploma that had a lot of the same patterning. So I thought what I would do here is maybe create a very elaborate looking coach using all of these very fancy looking letters, and have all of the players be made with the script letters, the two O's for eyes, another O for a mouth, and maybe they'd all have uh, crew cuts that had this edge to it, so they almost look like they're related. They're all from the same family. That the Von Trapp family baseball players or something. So that was my thought, but I may change my mind with that. But anyway, they're just amazing. These little things, as when you cut them up, they become so much more interesting than whatever her name was. Agnes S. Adams in Bennington, Vermont, got this diploma in 1909. And Agnes's children thought so little of her her graduation from school that they just put it on eBay and sold it to me to be turned into landfill after I turned it into this other stuff. So it's just interesting. Now, how am I going to divide this up? This can be a mouth that's smiling. It can be a mouth that's frowning. It could be a hat. I sort of want the coaches' faces to be equally large. And, maybe I have the coach I don't know. I'm really confused about this. I'm split among various options. I kind of like the coach. The other coach was made of the printed scroll. When this thing was not, before it was cut up, on the large piece of paper was a piece of paper that looked like a piece of paper that was curled up. So it was a picture of a diploma on a diploma, if that makes sense. And so, here's the corner of the diploma rolling up, just like the real one does. But I just thought that I like the real simplicity of this, of all of these elements, and the very elaborateness of the other ones. So, but I don't know. I'm really confused about this. I don't know what to do. What are your thoughts? Maybe I should put this away and cut up another one while I ponder this one, while I swig another cup of coffee. School. I don't know. I think maybe I will ponder this a little more. I would love to do one where I can animate them and very carefully try to, no, not carefully, it's going to be pretty sloppy looking, but have the faces look, just by moving the elements before I glue them together, to look as if they're talking to each other. I think that might be kind of fun, like I've done with my fish. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is save this. Because I haven't figured this one out yet. This is, and you know, if I like the idea of combining the two pieces. I just have to figure out, you know, are they going to be two motley teams? And maybe I'll find a Diploma to be the umpire, and the two coaches are bribing the umpire to, you know, help their team win. Is that the story? Both teams are so completely inept looking that bribery is needed. Is that the story I'm going to write? Will I leave the referee out and just have the two teams on either side of the canvas, as it were, with the coaches in the middle? Or what? The jury's out. So I need a box for this. That goes on top of that box. I just made a diploma face yesterday out of a, hey, Will Hodge, you're up early, out of a rather simple, very simple diploma that didn't have a lot of ooh la la to it. So what it did have was a lot of boring lettering with little periods, you know, dot, 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 bookkeeping, you know, dot, 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 and then a line with a score that the person got in that class. And so there wasn't a lot to work on. So the dots became a freckled face, freckled nose, those are freckles, and the subjects became his hair, and the caption for this one will read something like, "The only thing that the freckle-faced boy could do well, it seemed, was talk with his mouth full." So the words here, the signatures of all of his teachers, both are, you know, his French fries and salad and whatever it is he's eating in the lunchroom, as well as the words almost that he's speaking. And of course, they're all falling out of his face because he's such a clod. I think this was Clem. Poor Clem, you know. This was Clem. And Clem, this was from one of Clem something or other's numerous diplomas. He graduated from so many high schools. I must have like 4 of them that have his name on it. And they all must have come from the same person. I have to go back and look. But this is his father. And this is his mother. And they, you know, the caption for this one read, "Neither nature nor nurture helped poor Clem get through high school. It was a bribe from Daddy." What is this? Okay, this is a very brittle or maybe not so brittle. Diploma refaded. Diploma. And here is the main face that came out of that one. And this looks like a little monkey. A boy and his monkey. Got another face in here. Yep. This looks like another monkey. A hairy monkey. So maybe this is Tarzan. Tarzan. And this is the Bride of Frankenstein. Oh dear. Elsa Lancaster and Johnny Weissmuller meet backstage with the monkeys. Maybe that'll be the caption. But I have a lot more left that I could create more faces for that story. If I wanted to, including, looks like, including a little ribbon. Class of 1917. The exhibit that these things may go in is in the future and unplanned. I do have some of these diplomas already in a show, three diplomas in a show, and I have about a dozen of them outside. Which one? What does this one have going for it? Oh, this is a. There's a little sad face, and oh, I remember the caption for this one. Here's the cat, and here's the father. So the caption for this one, as he could not decide which of his children was the least undeserving. No, it was a double negative. Least undeserving, the most undeserving, least undeserving, the least undeserving. He gave all his money to the neighborhood cat. So this one is ready to. These, I think most of these are all ready to be framed. There's a couple of one-offs that I was only able to do one, and this was another one that just made one face. And this is Jimmy Cagney in drag. Sort of has a Jimmy Cagney look. So I think there's so many here that are one-offs. Maybe I'll just put them all in one envelope together. Yeah, maybe I don't have that many that are one-offs. This looks like a one-off. This is a one-off. I did this one. There's many of these I did a while back before these are all one-offs here. And then I started making more than one face out of a thing. So consequently, I changed my plan. This, I do have the brother. This is a diploma from the city of Cambridge, I think. And I have I got two from the same family. One was a boy and one was a girl. And this was the girl portrait. The boy, where did he go? The boy looked pretty creepy. He has to be here somewhere. The boy looked like a mass murderer. Where did he go? Because I want to keep them together. Okay, that's a single. That's a single. See, when I did these originally, I think I was a little bit more playful with them than I am now. I think I'm becoming a little too literal. Okay, I don't know where the brother went. Did I frame him already? Uh-oh, what have I done? I moved something down and all of the pieces fell off. Aha! I thought of putting them perhaps in these little frame things. Dear me. Okay, now I'm starting to lose it. These go in here. And one of these things says bro and sis. These are the scraps of. Okay, bro and sis. I guess I must. I'm not sure what he. Oh. Okay, here's sis and here's bro. So this is not bro and sis. That's someone else entirely. So is this a one-off then? This must be a one-off. Oh, Underwriter Typewriter Company. This is Bella. I had a number of things from Bella. That's why I was keeping her. So I'm just going to write Bella on here. because I thought it would be fun to keep all the Bellas that I have and put them all in one frame, the many faces of Bella. But I think these here are all legitimately. This one has very white teeth, very shiny teeth. Speaking of teeth, this is the one for the dental examiner. Looks a little evil. See, some of these are just much more wacky. You know, they're not as realistic, if that's the right word. This woman is kind of sleepy. This is the only one that I sort of made three-dimensional like that. So, okay, Bella, you're going over here. Well, the question asked of my viewer was, what in the world made me think of the diploma art? A couple of years ago, I was making masks for a little workshop I thought I would do for kids. And I was making masks out of found materials and Target shopping bags, and I had a little small collection of diplomas that I bought over the years, and I liked the lettering on them. I bought them for the lettering styles and stuff, and I thought, okay, I've appreciated the lettering. The actual documents aren't as interesting to me anymore. What can I do with them? So I started taking, and they were all in big, heavy, hunky frames that were taking up space in my house. And I thought, well, let's just take them out of the frames and cut them up and use them as art. And then I made a few and had the idea to make more after I started making my little fish things out of boxes. So that's how it started. And then I thought, well, what is it about the diplomas? Am I gonna suggest that there's a diploma-ness about these things? Is that important or not? And then I thought, well, what would this person that was good at typewriter, what would that person look like? You know, I started doing that. But you have, for example, these two diplomas. The Tonawanda Public School system decided that they were going to go all out and pay maybe 10 cents each for these in 1929. Really boring, rather ugly looking diplomas. Whereas the same year, the Salem, Washington Township, Salem, Indiana, decides to actually do a nice one. So, yes, Mousy loves my fish. So, this one, you know, is quite different from the other one. Mary Maggie King got something that looks pretty damn cool, whereas Earl Post got this nasty looking one. So how do I make this a face and this a face and have them look different? Well, I don't know. We'll figure that out. This is the grammar department. So this actually wasn't the entire high school. This was just the grammar department. Well, it does blow me away sometimes too. See, these could be eyebrows right there. Or those could be sideburns, and the hair on the head could be this. So let's just do that. Let's just cut this one right up, right now. Right here and right now. I'm also going to try to make them bigger. Try to make them sort of the size. Did this come from here and fall off just now? Who knows? See, this person had very fancy hairdo. Lots of curls. So let me take a picture of the before when this was put together. I have noticed as well that I almost find exactly the same word diploma done with the same fuzzy stuff around it, the same lettering. I've seen that on many diplomas, and I've seen the same exact border on other diplomas. So I think that there was a cut and paste design team putting these things together, which is kind of neat. I'll be right back. Shit. So today I'm going to the Urban Sketchers to the Boston Public Library, which is one of my favorite buildings in Boston. And I have a cunning plan, which I hope turns out. Now, who wants to buy this diploma now that I've ruined it? Am I gonna... I have a cunning plan anyway for the Boston Public Library. And I'll describe it in 1 second. Just cut the eyebrows and hair out of this thing. So I've been to the Boston Public Library a number of times. We've drawn, the urban sketchers, have drawn it many, many times. And I'm trying to figure out a way to draw it differently than I've drawn it before. And I came up with an idea, or am halfway borrowing an idea. That my artist hero, Saul Steinberg, used once upon a time. And so what I did was, I have a long piece of paper. For God's sake, my drawing table is like 1 degree too tilted, so everything falls off. So I shouldn't be using this because I need this for my... What I did was I cut a piece of paper, big long roll of Photographer's Seamless in gray. So it's about 10 inches by 10 feet maybe. And with white pencil on gray, I wrote Boston Public Library. Okay, so that's on the entire thing. And then I will go to the Boston Public Library today. And here's a close-up of, let's say, the O and the S of Boston. O-S. And I'll turn the piece of paper. It'll be rolled up, so it's not going to be flopping around. Just this part will be exposed. And I'll find an element of the building that has this kind of shape to it. So this might be, there's in the entrance, there's a archway that has, fun little decorations. On it. With these barrel vaults. So if you just look at that, you'd see that. Okay, then I may pick this corner. I'll just walk further down the street, and maybe this corner will be the railing on the steps going up. There's a little curl there, going up to the big mounted lion, the big sculpted lion on the mezzanine, or on the level up there. So you'll see this, and I'll try not to completely obscure the line work that was part of the name. I'll try to be better at this, but at the end of the day, what you're going to get is a little, you'll see a little sort of a drawing here, and one there, and one here, one like that, maybe one like that. There might be areas that I can't find things for, and I'll just leave them blank. So it'll be easy for you to see the entire word. That's my thought. And I've got lots of white pencils, some black pencils, and some gray pencils. And 2 hours to 10 feet, not 0 feet. Did you write 10 feet? I can't see. Is that a 10? Yeah, it's about 10 feet long. I'll show you. I've got it right here. And we'll measure it. So here's the Y in the library. Okay. Here's the B in Boston. And I'm trying not to fold them. It's 4 times 1.5 feet. Well, maybe it's 8 feet. Let's just measure it here. How difficult is it? Okay, I lied. It's about 6 feet. It's about 6 feet. 7 feet. We'll say 7. I did do a painting last couple of days that's 30 feet long, though. And I'll show you a little video of it. I think I posted it on my Facebook page. Chain link and construction. So this is 3 feet tall and 27 feet long. On a roll of canvas. Cranes and beefy work boys and beefy cement truck. And a backhoe, back thing backing up, beep, 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 beep. And another one hiding behind his little curtain. And then more things here. This was a blob of paint that was accidental, so I had to have it connect with a crane over here. And I end with a selfie. It's my shadow on the chain link fence snood hard hat area. So how many feet is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 27 feet. I had to cut off about 8. So 27 feet. And it's just in black house paint, painted on canvas. And I'm going to go out and do 2 more this coming week. One will be 1 foot tall by 33 feet, and the other one is 2 feet tall by 33 feet. So I'm just, I'm surrounded by all this great um, uh, construction work that I'm trying to sort of capture the bigness of it, because we can't escape it. It's around us. It's all around us. So that's sort of, by making it big like that, is how I can emphasize that. Yeah. Okay, you're falling down again. Salem, Washington Township. This certifies that. It is a pretty fun town. Um, see what the weather is today. Special weather alerts. Cluster of beach showers making a few embedded thunderstorms, hail, and brief strong gusts. 3 and 7. Okay, it's going to be sunny all day. This is just, I tell you, the weathermen, I don't know why I even bother, because it never turns out to be the same as they say. It's supposed to rain all day today. Oh, God. Certificate of Attainment. Yeah, we did have, we haven't used it in such a long time, a pretty good train system. If I had to do it every day, I probably would be frustrated with it. But, the few times, 4 times a month or whatever that I used to use it at the most, seem to work well, good enough for my purposes. Okay, Pierre, is it time to do something else? Sort of eager to see if this turns out the way I want it to turn out. I just want something to help focus my attention. And having a line, a single line. The person that inspired me was Saul Steinberg. He has a drawing that I saw in a museum that was maybe 20 feet long, and it was just a straight line. And he drew a picture sort of here and here and here along this long page. So here, this was, the desert with the pyramids and the Sphinx and a camel. Then over here, it was a clothesline. And then here it was looking down from the fourth story to the street, looking down. Here's a man looking up. Here's the street. Here's the top of a car. There's a crack in the sidewalk. So the perspective is completely, here we're looking across, here we're looking across, here we're looking down. And then here was a lady with a flower pot on a windowsill. There's her hand. And then it went on there was a train bridge with a train on it, and it was all that one line going all the way across. So it's sort of, I'm doing a lot of copying him. So sue me. But it's also like what I was doing here with these things. I'm taking a book that had letter samples and turning them into cowboys in this case. Here's Make America Great hats. So these are all of Trump supporters. Who wants more horse dewormer medication? Oh, I do. They all say. I say give it to them. Free horse dewormer. Let's just get a lot of these people out of our misery. I had a pen customer here yesterday who bought 3 pens, 2 pens actually. He exchanged one that he bought the other day. And that was nice to have him back. He seems very interested in the pens, the differences among them, and I know I need to send you your pens. Well, I will, I promise, this week. I finally made my plane tickets to go to Minneapolis for a week at the beginning of December, and then I'm going to go back right before Christmas and spend some time there. Or maybe I'll, I don't know, have Christmas there. I guess I'll have Christmas there. The last Christmas at our house we grew up in, I think that would be an important way to say goodbye to it, even though it looks so different now than it did. Well, I shouldn't say that. It will look different as we start selling the stuff inside of it. It's interesting, this guy that I had some 51s with me, and he tried 51s, which I thought he probably wouldn't like, and he really liked them. He was able to made it look like it was a flexible nibbed pen, the way he was able to apply the pressure in some cases, and it was really a nice nice to see. He also didn't care at all about, at the moment, he doesn't care at all, and I think he won't care at all later. For him, it's a tool, and he doesn't post the pen. He doesn't look at the pen and say how beautiful the pen is. He doesn't care what it looks like. He just wants it to make a line the way he wants it. So he was perfectly happy with a pen that had the wrong cap. It had a nickel lever and a gold trim on the cap, and he didn't care because he didn't care. He did not care. And those are my kind of customers because I've got a lot of pens that don't match. Like this pen, I was just thinking about this. This is a relatively rare-ish barrel. It's a gray colored Waterman screw cap pen, and they don't make that many of this color screw cap pen, and I don't have a cap for it, but I have this gray cap that fits. It's a slip cap, so it protects the nib, does what it's supposed to do. It's airtight, it does what it's supposed to do, and it doesn't really post all that well. It's a little longer when it's posted than it would have been normally, but it's a perfectly functional pen, even though it has the wrong cap. But that doesn't make any difference, does it, in the long run? Another one I just had, this one. This is Boinga Boinga E. Marilyn would want that one. Okay, well, I'm going to eat some breakfast here and get my day going in earnest. So I will talk with you later. See ya.